Hey everybody, and welcome to BKids TV. I'm Mrs. Jennifer.
And I'm Mrs. Nessa.
And we're so glad to have you with us today. Just so you know, we're getting together every week now to provide you with online BKids. While you're at home, cozy on your couch, we're going to be continuing to teach you Bible stories, having tons of fun, making sure you remember this month's memory verse. Right now, we're right in the middle of our Dream Big series, where we're talking about Joseph, the dreamer in the Bible, and how God never left him or forsaked him. So, stick around because
we have a special challenge just for you. But before we get into that, let's take a look at our Bible story.
Hey, Nessa.
Hey, Miss Jennifer.
So tell me, our idea this week is Dream Big.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's amazing. Have you had any dreams lately?
Dreams? Dreams? Is somebody talking about dreams?
Hey!
Oh, man, if you're talking about dreams, count me in. And guess what?
What, Chester?
I had the most incredible dream.
You did?
What?
Yep. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Oh, you better buckle up. It's a doozy.
Okay.
Okay, first, I was a turtle.
A
turtle?
Yep. And then I ate an octopus.
And
I grew 8 legs. Ah! And then I dreamed Bigfoot was chasing me. And then an elephant came out of the clouds. Out of the clouds.
Oh, my.
An elephant.
Chester, what did you eat before you went to bed?
Yeah.
What I always eat.
What'd you eat?
What?
Mexican. Yeah, I would highly advise never to do it. It's probably better to eat a blizzard.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
It was
that would be
horrible.
good.
The elephant came out of the clouds, took his nose, and sucked me up in his belly.
Oh, Chester, that's awful. That's not really a dream. That's more like a nightmare.
And then I woke up inside the elephant.
Oh.
Oh, no. In your dream, you woke up inside the elephant, not
Not in real life.
in real life.
I don't even know. I'm so confused.
Oh.
But it was a good dream.
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting dream.
Have you
anyway.
ever been inside an elephant?
No, I have not, but I'll tell you what.
I wouldn't eat Mexican then.
No, I wouldn't eat Mexican either. Well, our Bible story is about a dreamer. His name is Joseph. And he wasn't inside an elephant, but he was definitely stuck inside a jail for a very long time.
Stuck inside a snail?
No, a jail. Not a
Jail!
snail.
Oh,
Not
I
a
thought
snail,
you said
no.
snails.
But he
Yuck.
had dreams. He had big dreams. God gave him his dreams. And I'm going to tell you the whole Bible story. Would you like to listen?
Well, sure.
Okay, here goes. So, in the beginning, Joseph was a dreamer. He was...
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, you sure can.
Where did he live?
He lived back in Bible times.
Oh, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Okay, I'm
Many centuries ago. Actually, even before the Bible began.
Okay.
There was a guy named Joseph. And he had 11 brothers.
Ooh.
He did. He had 11 brothers, and he was his father's favorite. His father loved him so much, he gave him a very colorful coat, just like the ones that Nessa and I are wearing.
Kind of like me in orange.
Kind of like you in orange. In Bible times, though, it was really hard to get a colorful coat. You had to be like a king or a pharaoh, someone really special. So it was a big deal that he got this colorful coat. Well, his 11 brothers were very jealous.
They got a coat too?
They did not get a coat.
Ooh.
I know. Wouldn't you feel bad if your brothers all got a coat and you didn't get one?
Well, I don't really need a coat. I got hair.
You do have a pretty fuzzy coat. His coat was very colorful and his brothers hated him for it. They also didn't like him because God gave him dreams. He had dreams that one day all of his brothers and his father would all bow down to him.
Wow.
Yes. They were so jealous that one day, while they were out tending to the sheep, they got together and they planned a terrible crime. They said, let's get rid of our brother Joseph. Let's throw him in a pit.
What?
And that's exactly what they did. They beat him up and they threw him in a pit and they left him there to die.
What kind of brothers are these?
They were terrible brothers. One of the brothers started to feel kind of guilty and he said, you know what? Let's sell him into slavery. I know it.
No!
I know, it's so terrible. And Joseph never gave up on God.
Yeah, I would have hit him with a rock or something.
Yeah, nope. Joseph,
No?
even in the pit, Joseph never gave up on God.
What?
Nope. Joseph thought right, He talked right,
What?
he acted right, and he found favor with God and man. And he knew that God had given him dreams, and he never gave up on those dreams.
Man.
So the brothers took him out of the pit, and they sold him into slavery, and off he went to the land of Egypt. I know, but
Where's the land of Egypt? Is it like near Atlanta?
it's not really near Atlanta. It's more like in the desert, where the pyramids are.
Desert?
Yes. So anyway, Joseph was sold as a slave and bought by a man named Potiphar. It's a terrible name. I know.
Who would name a kid Potiphar?
Potiphar.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. So Potiphar bought Joseph as a slave, and he could tell that Joseph wasn't like the other slaves. Joseph was smart. He could read, he could write, he looked very good, and of course, because he loved God, he found favor with God and man.
Ooh.
Joseph began to run Potiphar's house like it had never been run before.
Wow.
He taught all of the other slaves how to do things better, how to be smarter, and Potiphar noticed this. So Potiphar promoted Joseph to the head of his household. He was amazing. All of the slaves liked him, but so did Potiphar's wife.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, she was an evil woman, and she saw that Joseph was not only smart, but that he looked really good.
He was good looking?
He was super good looking.
No wonder his brothers threw him in a pit.
They threw him in a pit. Well,
Pays to be ugly. I guess.
it does. Anyway, so Joseph worked in Potiphar's house, and Potiphar's wife would call him in. She would say, "Joseph, come and wash my hair." And Joseph had to obey.
Women.
She would say, "Joseph, come and bring me breakfast in bed." And he would do it because he had to obey. One day, she said, "Oh, Joseph, come here, please." Joseph went into her bedroom, and guess what she did?
She threw him in a pit.
No, she jumped on him, and she tried to kiss him. Oh, it's terrible.
Kissing?
Kiss him.
What?
I know, and you should not kiss another man when you
What
already
did
have a
he do?
husband.
What did he do?
Well, she grabbed his coat, and Joseph said, "No, I cannot. This would displease my
What?
God."
Oh, no.
Yes, and he ran out of the room.
Good for him.
But she grabbed his coat and took it off of him and had it in her
What?
hands. And she was so angry and so insulted that he would not kiss her that she did the only thing she could think to do. She screamed.
Ah!
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
Well, it's okay.
That's all right. So
And?
everyone came running, and she held Joseph's coat out, and she said, she lied to everyone, crying. She said, "That horrible slave Joseph, he attacked me." She lied to everyone. And so Potiphar came in and said, "Joseph, I will see you rot in jail."
No.
And he threw Joseph into jail.
No way.
It's true. So
What kind of story is this?
well, here's the thing. Joseph, even in the pit, even as a slave, and now even in jail, never gave up on God. He knew that God had given him dreams, and he kept those dreams deep in his heart. He
Wow.
knew one day God would make things right. So now he's in jail, and he doesn't act like the other prisoners.
Really?
He thinks right, he talks right, and he acts right, and he finds favor with God and man. And so the jailer promotes him to the head guard over everyone else in prison.
How cool is that?
It's amazing. So next, 2 men from Pharaoh's house are thrown in jail, a baker and a butler. Someone has stolen Pharaoh's golden cup. And so they're in jail waiting to see, who is
Maybe.
it, the baker or the butler? They begin to have crazy dreams.
Like my dream getting eaten by an elephant.
Exactly, like a crazy dream like you. And Joseph overheard them talking about their crazy dreams. He came to them and said, I have some experience with crazy dreams. Tell me your dreams and I'll tell you what God says.
Wow, okay.
So they explained their dreams to Joseph. The baker says, I had 3 baskets of bread on my head, and the crows came and ate the bread out of my baskets. The butler says, I had a cup, and I saw 3 vines of grapes. I squished the grapes, and then I gave the cup of grape juice to Pharaoh. Joseph said, your dreams mean this. You, butler, in 3 days you will be released from jail and you will serve Pharaoh again. But baker, in 3 days you will be put to death for the horrible crimes that you have done. And it happened just like Joseph said. So, when they were released from jail, the butler went back to serving Pharaoh. And Joseph hollered to the butler, please remember me in front of Pharaoh. Tell him that I am here and I'm an innocent man. But the butler forgot all about Joseph. 2 more years Joseph spent in jail, waiting for God to deliver him. But he never gave up on God or the dreams that God had given him.
Wow.
One day, Pharaoh started to have crazy dreams too. And then the cupbearer remembered. I know a man in jail who can tell you what your dreams mean. So Pharaoh called for Joseph to come up out of jail, and he explained his dreams to Joseph. He said, this is what my dream was. I saw 7 fat cows come up out of the Nile, and then I saw 7 skinny cows come right behind them and gobble those fat cows up.
Wow.
And then I saw 7 large, beautiful heads of grain, and then 7 withered, crazy, skinny heads of grain came and ate those heads of grain up. Gobble, 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 gobble. And Joseph said, God himself, Pharaoh, has given you this dream. 7 years of great goodness are coming. 7 years of great crops and plenty will come upon the land of Egypt. But then it will be followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh, you have been warned by God. You must find a good man to run all of Egypt, to store up all of the extra food, so when the famine comes, you and Egypt will not suffer. And Pharaoh said, there is only one man who is smart enough that can do this for me, and Joseph, it is you. Your God has given you wisdom that no one else could have. I place you only under me in all of Egypt. Everyone must bow to you. You will be my number 2. And so Joseph was promoted to the 2nd ruler in all of Egypt. And that, Chester, is where this week's Bible story ends.
And
Well, you'll have
you
to...
ended right there?
I am. You'll have to come back next
Not
week.
even fair.
I'm sorry, Chester, but there's more to the story. It sounds like Joseph's life is just perfect. After all, he is the 2nd highest ruler in all of Egypt, and it sounds like his dreams are coming true. But what has happened to Joseph's father, the one who loved him best of all, and all of his 11 brothers? Come back next week, and I'll tell you what happens next.
Okay, I will.
See you later, Chester. Thanks for
Bye.
coming.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. It's time to work on this month's memory verse. Are you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They're plans for good and not disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. Wow, Nessa, Joseph's story is amazing, but it's not over yet. We'll be back next week with the last part of Joseph's story. In the meantime, we want to remind you, keep your eyes on Jesus. God will never leave you and never forsake you. He'll be with you just as he was with Joseph. But before we finish, we have a special challenge just for you. Tell him, Nessa.
Yes, so for our challenge, you can connect with us on Facebook at Believers Church Kids or on Instagram, also at Believers Church Kids. And what you'll be doing is you're going to pick your favorite part of Joseph's story so far. You're going to draw a picture, and then you're going to send it to us. And we'll feature one of those drawings each and every day for you guys to see and connect with.
We're so glad you joined us today. We want to see you back next week, so look for us all week long on social media and join us next week on Sunday. We'll have a brand new series for you with Joseph and finishing out the story. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.